This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24.
Hi there folks, my name's Novawrap and welcome to the Novawrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 30th of May 2021 for another action-packed, fun-filled episode of new releases for the week. And we are going to jump straight into it this week with a release from Just Flight with their release of their PA28R Turbo Arrow 3 and 4 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this comes hot on the heels of their previous release of their PA28R Arrow 3 with a piston engine variant. And they made it very clear early on that they were going to be bringing both of these aircraft, because they are similar, same time but different, to the simulator. And it very much shows that they did a lot of work with the original Arrow 3 they released for the sim. And they've, you can tell from this first release that they've learnt a lot of the lessons. They've taken a lot of the lessons they learned from that, applied it to here, as well as providing us with a new, faster, more powerful engined aircraft. So you get two very distinct aircraft with this pack here. So the Arrow 3, which is pretty much just the Arrow 3, the piston Arrow 3, but with a turboprop in the front of it. But then you have the Arrow 4, which was a later variant of it, which had a distinctive T-tail in its aircraft design, which sort of went across and counteracted some of the design and user feedback from the original Piper Arrow 3 to the turbocharged variant. Now, this gives us a highly detailed rendition of the aircraft with accurate 3D modeling built from real-world aircraft plans and comprehensive scans and photography of a real aircraft. Variety of animations are included throughout, full support for ground equipment, including chocks, tie downs, and pushback. Full 4K textures used throughout with full PBR support. And it's full support for native Microsoft Flight Sim visual icing effects as well. Also, apparently includes ground services support, including marshal and fuel truck, which I'm looking forward to actually seeing. Actually, that could be kind of fun. Also, it is a highly detailed 3D model internally as well, with all systems are fully functional as well, including fully functional comprehensive IFR capable avionics fit, including two types of communications radios, audio selector units, DME units, all the usual fun stuff that comes in here, as well as a variety of GPS options as well. So, including support for a GTN 750 variant for the PMS 50 GTN 750 variant, which is kind of cool as well. So natively it supports the GPS 100, the 430/530 unit, and there is a 750 support unit if you have a aftermarket PMS 50 750 as well. And all of that is controlled via a little bit of a electronic flight bag, sort of tablet, that mounted in the cockpit as well. So a lot of this stuff they learnt, as I said, that we've seen some of this stuff before. We've also seen them also, and I can tell from the screenshots that they've released that they've definitely put into place the things that they learnt from the last release and brought them in here as well. Along with that includes a highly accurate sound set recorded from real engine samples in Microsoft Flight Simulator native WWise sound package as well. With a variety of liveries coming here as well, coming in with 10 liveries across both the Turbo Arrow 3 and the Turbo Arrow 4, and custom flight dynamics for each variant as well. So all that's coming in for $45 US or your original equivalent from Just Flight. Now, something I did want to point out as well, because this was something that I noticed as well, was that originally Just Flight had announced that they would be releasing these for the Microsoft Store, but it's been conspicuous by its absence. Now, admittedly, I didn't think too much of it, given the fact that the Microsoft Store is notoriously slow for processing things. But interesting enough, Just Flight did contact me and did let me know that one of the reasons why they actually have they've always intended to release it for the Microsoft Store, but they have delayed it, and the reason is because the Microsoft Store didn't allow them to offer the bundle packs, which they are offering with the piston engine variant of the Arrow 3. So currently, if you can either buy the Turbo Arrow or the Piper Arrow 3 standalone from Just Flight, or you can actually buy them together as a bundle pack and save yourself about $25-30. If you already have purchased the Arrow from Just Flight, you already would have received a communication from Just Flight, or if you haven't, get in touch with them. They'll be able to send the details out to you to give you a code enabled for you to redeem to get the same discount to get both aircraft for the reduced price. So Just Flight sort of said that unfortunately the way the Microsoft marketplace store is set up, they wouldn't be able to deliver that experience and that sort of bundle offer to customers. So that's why they chose to hold back the aircraft from the Microsoft store until both aircraft are released. Now that they're both released, they will be sending it to the Microsoft marketplace, so we should be able to see those coming up there in the next few weeks, hopefully. So there you go. As I said, so this aircraft is available standalone for $45 or pick them both up for $65, available now from Just Flight and eventually from the marketplace. Moving from aircraft releases, moving into scenery releases from developer Orbix. Saw this week the release of Catalina Airport, or the airport in the sky. Now, not going to lie, this is one of my favorite airports to visit on the west coast of the US because and I remember reading about it like long before I got into flight simulators, because it's described as almost like an aircraft carrier in the sky, because it's at the plateau at the top of a mountain on an island off the coast of California. And it just is an incredibly picturesque and beautiful spot to fly out to. Now, this is a reconstruction or I hesitate to use the word port here, but it kind of is. But it's actually a rebuild from the ground up. It isn't really a port over. It's a rebuild from the ground up. So because the original developers of this airport from Warwick's for the ESP sims have returned to bring it to us for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So Tim Harris and Ken Hall, they've come out here, completely redone it though. So it's not just a drag and drop port. They've completely redone this and recreated it for the new sim. Now, with that, it gives updated building geometry and texturing to benefit from the new engine, and it makes way for improvements in accuracy from the previous release. Includes custom 30 centimeter per pixel photoreal imagery covering the airport and the Avalon Harbour area, with a variety of point of interest included, including the Casino Ballroom, Pebble Beach, and Wrigley Marine Science Centres, and both harbours on the island. A variety of custom 3D objects, custom 3D models, vegetation, all the usual fun stuff we expect to see from Orbix. So what I really love about this airport is that it isn't just about the airport, it is about it as a destination. And that's one of the reasons why I love this as a release for the old legacy sims. As well as just being a cool place to fly to. There's such beautiful attention to detail, and looking at through the screenshots here, that has definitely come back through with this re-release. So if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $18 or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix. Continuing on with scenery releases, this time from developer Pilot Experience Sim. So this week, their release of their rendition of Isafjordur Airfield in Iceland. So this is a small GA sort of regional airline facility on the west coast of Iceland. Coming in of a fjord with some beautiful, stunning, picturesque views coming through there as well. Now, this is a custom airport. This includes an accurate airport layout as it appears in 2021, with a custom ground poly, full high-definition 4K textures with full PBR support used throughout, custom high-definition models used throughout, and with a custom terrain and runway profile based off real airport data, along with custom night textures, custom library objects, and updated accurate windsocks for the area included as well. And you can pick this one up direct from the Microsoft Store for $8 or your original equivalent, available now from the Microsoft Marketplace. Continuing on with releases from developer Perfect Flight. So their latest Discovery Flight series this week released with their release of the Italy series of Discovery Flights. So this gives you 3 bush tour style Discovery flights to explore some of the amazing sights of Italy. Includes a custom Cub Crafter X-Cub livery, along with their usual text-to-speak technology, custom information, POI guidance, and beautiful laid out bush pilot style systems. Now, this includes, as I said, there are 3 tours on here. The first one is the main Italian tour, which gives you 23 legs over 2,000 nautical miles, with covering off 173 in-sim POIs. The other 2 are a little bit smaller and more unique, so they give you the areas of Sardinia and the island of Sicily. So each of those are about 3 hours long, give you 4 legs, and cover around about just over 300 nautical miles each one, with all the POIs for the area included as well. And you can pick this one up for $12 or your original equivalent, available now from PC Aviator. Continuing on with another release for Microsoft Flight Simulator this week, which is a very sort of different kind. This one, so from developer TDS. So this week their release of their GTN XI for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now this is really interesting. So this is it's a standalone gauge, is what this is basically. It's a standalone rendition of the GTN XI from its family of systems from Garmin for their aviation system, including both the 750XI and the 650XI in the same package. So you don't have to buy things separately, it's all included. Now, at the moment, at time of launch, it gives you a sort of a accurate, true-to-life feel for this one, including all access to navigation data, georeference charts for North America regions. So a little bit of a shame that they're very much geared to that, but I guess I see that's where their market is. Variety of airport diagrams, custom charts included, custom setups for airspace, elevation control data, all the usual stuff there. All the functions of the GTN series are included as well. Including with their style of rotary buttons and all the other interactions and functions. But it is designed to work with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, as I said, it is a standalone application, and it does not integrate with the virtual cockpit. So it will be off on a separate window. At the moment, they've said that they are planning virtual cockpit integration, but it is currently not. They've said that it's currently not possible due to SDK limitations. I'd be curious to know more about that. I think that it's from my understanding, I think it's not just an SDK limitation. I think it's actually to do with, because we're not dealing with 2D panels superimposed on a 3D virtual 3D cockpit anymore, like we did with Prepared and FSX. I think there's more to it than that now. I think it's going to be difficult for them to integrate it with aircraft unless a 3D model is custom produced to support their systems. But we'll see how they go. As I said, they have committed that once it is possible, they will make it fully compatible for no additional charge, which is, at least they're committed to it. So hopefully I'm happy to be wrong for this one and looking forward to hopefully seeing that produced shortly. As I said, otherwise, it looks pretty cool, looks pretty interesting. If you're into or wanting to replicate the use of this specific type of system, then this is going to be of interest for you. I'm guessing it's probably actually going to be geared more towards those who want to set up their home cockpits. So, for example, you could have this on its own separate standalone screen and interact with it that way. So I think that could be the way where the market for this might sit. Now, if you wanted to pick this one up for your sim, you can pick this one up for $50 or your regional equivalent, available from TDS Sim. Moving out of the Microsoft Flight Simulator world, moving into the world of X-Plane this week, saw the release of a lot of scenery and one. I don't know if it's an aircraft or not. Okay, so let's start with that one. So this is from developer X Aero. So this week their release of their Beechcraft B-58 Baron enhanced flight models. Look. Out of the box, this looks okay. Looks pretty interesting. So what it is, as it's described, it's an expansion upgrade of the stock laminar Baron 58 that comes with X-Plane 11. Gives you an enhanced flight model, including updating cruise speed, updating the maximum minimum stall speeds, correcting the speeds for flaps up, flap down, correct rates of climb, and more accurate takeoff and landing distances, fuel handling, fuel consumption, and a variety of other things. It goes through a few issues that are corrected from the default flight model. But here's my take on it. This thing is $25 for just a flight model update. So, and it's very clear that it says there are no new graphics, systems, or sounds included. This is just a pure flight model update, which I have no problem with that being sold. I mean, that's done. Variety of developers do it, both freeware and payware. No problem with that. But considering that it is just a flight model update and nothing else, and it's being sold for $25. I got it. Like, it doesn't sit right with me. I'll just be honest with you. Look, I'm not saying that they're not doing that. It's terrible. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm saying it looks like they've done incredible work with it. But it just seems overpriced for a flight model update. That's all. Like it just feels that way. Happy to be proven wrong. If you have it, I'd love to hear from you and your experience of it, what you think of it. But to me, yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't sit. So, but if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this up for $25 or your original equivalent, available at explain.org. Continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases and moving to a senior releases from developer Northern Sky Studios. This week released a couple of releases, their first one being Talkeetna Airport in Alaska. So it's a more beautiful GA airport just north of the central business district of Talkeetna. Includes a high accurate detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2021, including custom textures for taxiways, runways, and the apron. Includes custom surroundings, so it's custom mesh and custom objects for the surrounding area, custom high-resolution ground textures and custom runway textures, as well as high-resolution building textures as well. Includes realistic reflections on the glass and compatible night effects and compatible with all major terrain meshes as well. And you can pick this one up for $10 or your original equivalent, available now from explain.org. In the other release from Northern Sky Studios this week, saw the release of the continuation of their Hawaiian series of airports with their release of Hana Airport in Maui in Hawaii. So this is a small public use airport on the eastern shore of Maui, which is primarily used for GA and sort of private commuter flights going between the islands. Also used extensively for the tourism trade, with skydiving and glider flights originating from this airport as well. So this includes a highly detailed replica of the airport, I believe around 2020 or 2019, 2020, including high-resolution ground textures, custom runway textures, high-resolution building textures, full support for PBR materials and all airport materials as well, and a custom terrain mesh for the airport area and the surrounding area as well. Includes fully compatible with Ortho for XP and default mesh, as well as custom ortho photo for the airport and surrounding areas as well. And you can pick this one up for $8 or your original equivalent, available now from explain.org. Continuing on with scenery releases for X-Plane 11 from developer Skytitude this week, saw the release this week of their Icelandic airport of Thorshavn Airport in Iceland. Just in the northeast, a small GA airport for the airport in the area, mostly serviced by 19-seat Twin Otter aircraft for this one. Includes a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2021 with the newly renumbered runway of 1901. Custom terrain materials and surfaces with full PBR support, including experimental wet surfaces as well. Updated accurate vegetation, accurately detailed buildings and ground surfaces with building interiors, as well as 6 square kilometers of handcrafted photoreal scenery for the airport and surrounding area as well. And you pick this one up for $10 or your original equivalent, available now from explain.org. Continuing on with scenery releases, this one from developer Windshare. So they released this week their release of the Shakokan Regional Airport in Ecuador. So a small high-altitude airport servicing the Ecuadorian Andes, as well as the Amazon Basin, is a combined-use civilian and military airport in Ecuador. So this gives a highly detailed rendition of the airport with custom scenery objects, custom buildings, as based off the airport layout in 2020. With a variety of custom POIs from the surrounding area as well. Now, this one, I've got to admit that looking at it, it looks rough. Like, I'm not going to lie to you here. This one, the quality of the photoreal that it sits on looks dubious, to say the best. Some of the buildings look okay, and some of them really do not. So this one's a really variable add-on, I feel. As I said, some elements look great and other elements of it look absolutely awful. So your mileage may vary. Check it out. Look at the shots before you buy. Available for $10 or your original equivalent. Available now from explain.org. Rounding out the scenery releases for X-Plane 11 this week from developer Boundless. So this week their release of Pembrey Airport from Wales. So this gives a highly detailed rendition of Pembrey Airport, which is a hub for GA flying and business jets, as well as having occasional MOD sort of defence use as well. Includes custom 4K textures used throughout for all major airport buildings, with full support for PBR textures on vehicles, static aircraft, and buildings as well. Includes includes the area and the circuit and NPAS area are also fully modeled, so it gives you great experience for not only for the airport but also the surrounding areas and the approaches as well. Includes layout as it appears at the end of 2020, including custom 15 centimeter per pixel ortho imagery for the airport and surrounding area as well. And you can pick this one up for $16 or your original equivalent, available now from AnyBuilds. Moving out of the Explain 11 world, moving into the world of the legacy ESP platforms now, from developer Golden Age Simulations. Saw the release this week, the latest release of their edition of the Porterfield Collegegate CP65 for the entire gambit of all the legacy ESP sims, including FSX, Acceleration, FSX Steam Edition, and prepared in all its forms. So this interesting little aircraft sort of came out around about the size. It's very much a sort of a similar class to the Piper Cub, the Interstate Cadet, and the Aeronautica Chief, and was done of that same time. It's very much of the old sort of hands-on sort of flying. Now, it includes both a wheeled and a float plane variant of this aircraft. It gives you a highly accurate 3D model both internally and externally, with a highly detailed rendition of the Continental A65 engine as well, with full 4K texture support, variety of custom animations, with custom sound sets included as well, with custom volumetric propeller textures included as well. And this one, you pick this one up for $20 or your original equivalent, available now from Golden Age Simulations. Moving out of flights. Well, actually, no, sticking with flight simulation, but doing flight simulation of a slightly different kind this week. So this week, the release of a new simulator, which will be really interesting. And I knew this was coming for a while, and I've been curious to see how it goes. And I was very impressed to see some of the preview videos of it. And I must admit, I am impressed by it. I am really, really impressed by it. So this week we saw the release from Aerosoft of World of Aircraft Glider Simulator. Now, this is going to be really interesting. So obviously this is a glider sim. So this gives you 2,500 square kilometers of handcrafted terrain in near Mannheim on the River Rhine. And gives you two airports there, one highly detailed, one less detailed, with a variety of gliders and tow aircraft. So you get two gliders, you get two motor gliders, and you get a tug aircraft. Now, you can play this either as a single player or you can do it with multiplayer, including being able to actually use the glider tug to actually bring your friends to, like, your fellow aviators, the glide pilots, into the sky. So that's really, really kind of cool. Like, I really like that. I think that's a really awesome way of doing it. Now, it gives you a highly detailed set of gliders, tug and tow aircraft, includes incredibly detailed graphics, including animated road traffic, animated ship traffic, ray-matched clouds, animated windsocks, birds in the thermals that you ride. So to help you find thermals, look for the birds. It's actually going to be part of that. Cloud shadowing, lighting, advanced effects model, including dust. The flight model is customized as well, including it being a per limit based flight model, with each aircraft aerodynamic surface being split into a variety of sections and computed that way as well. Includes blade element model for the variable pitch propellers, which means it's going to be very important for you for those like the motor gliders as well, when you're transitioning from flying to gliding mode as well. Custom sound model, custom atmosphere model, including custom real-life test-based data for thermals and thermal modeling and dissipation of time, wind, velocity, and all the rest of it. Like, so much has gone into this. It looks absolutely amazing, and you can do it both multiplayer, single player, whichever one you like to do. The other side of this one is that you notice that the start of the title is called World of Aircraft. So apparently, Aerosoft are planning on releasing a series of small standalone sims. This is their first one, with each sim focusing on a specific type of flying. So I'm really curious about where else they're going to go, because It's going to be the gliding is fairly unique. Like, there's not a lot of glider sims out there, and to be frank, to be honest, the flight sims don't do gliders very well. They just don't. So it's really interesting to see this one, because I'm thinking, what other kind of flying are we going to that isn't already covered by the likes of DCS, by the likes of Microsoft Flight Sim, by the likes of X-Plane? So I'm really curious to see what the future holds with these other sims that are coming. I'm really curious about that. I guess time will tell. So if you're wanting to expand your aviation horizons and move into the world of gliding, you pick this one up for $30 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving now out of the flight simulation world and moving into the world of the permanent way. So this week, the latest release for Dovetail Games Train Simulator 2021. So with the release of the Union Pacific Big Boy Steam Locomotive. So this is part of the Pro range of simulators there, and gives you a highly detailed rendition of Union Pacific's 4884 Behemoth, apparently. So these was designed with a specific task of being able to handle the huge 4,500 ton trains without helpers across the rugged grades of the Utah's Wasatch Mountains. I'm sure I've just destroyed that pronunciation. Anyway, so designed and constructed during the 1940s and going on and serving well into the 1950s and beyond. This fleet eventually of over 25 trains became regulars on the Union Pacific's route, including up on the Sherman Hill in Wyoming. The last of them were eventually disbanded in the late 1950s, and then 8 of them have been preserved into today. So this comes from developer Smokebox, and has done a highly accurate rendition and recreation of this train, including 4 custom scenarios included, for career scenarios included as well, for use of the Ogden-Everson route included as well. So as I said, this is a highly realistic rendition of the Union Pacific 4884 Big Boy Steam Locomotive, including authentic operating controls and characteristics, with optional configurations for all levels of difficulty, from manual operations to auto fireman and auto engineer assists. It includes a custom recordings of actual 4884 locomotive sounds, with a late 1940s era rolling freight stock included, including boxcars, refrigerator cars, flat cars, hopper, tank, and Union Pacific CA4 steel caboose. And you pick this one up for $25 or your original equivalent, available now from Steam. Continuing on with the permanent way, but a slightly different permanent way, with the release of the first DLC for TramSim from Airsoft, with the release of TramSim Tram Depot Vienna. So this adds in the Vienna Favoritan Tram Depot, which is the main tram depot in the southern sector of Vienna's tramway operations. This depot was originally created in 1873 to service the World Exhibition, when the World Exhibition was held in Vienna. And it's carried on and been in service ever since. Since 1899, it has been a purely electric tram station and includes a variety of history ever since then. So this includes a custom rendition, a highly detailed rendition of the depot, including accessible wagon halls and storage areas, true to original track network and complex switch layout from the depot site, with interactive shunting employee operatable washing system. Includes a full line connection to the depot from the entrance and exit route to line 1 of the Quendelstrasse-Knollgasse, and with additional stops for pull-in, run, and with passengers until the depot. Includes 3 additional missions and scenarios for the early shift startup procedure, pull-in, run, and shutdown procedure of the depot, and shunting at the depot. And you can pick this one up for $10 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving on to the track for something a little bit faster this week, saw this week the release of SRX The Game from developer Monster Games Incorporated. So this is so it follows on from their release of their Tony Stewart Racing as their latest racing game, and touting it as the Superstar Racing Experience is an all-new racing league led by 3-time Cup Series champions and Hall of Famers Tony Stewart and Ray Evernham. So basically, this is a marketing tool for them and their real world race system. But it means that we get a pretty visually spectacular looking racing game. And now this is the official game of SRX, the Superstar Racing Experience, including 4 different series with different cars and rule sets, 6 real world licensed tracks, including 50 additional dirt tracks, with all the stars of the SRX series included, and models in this as well, with including your ability to do a career mode with custom racing team being able to build from the ground up, including hiring employees, drivers, and upgrading your cars along the way. Available for both single player experience as well as 25 player multiplayer experience as well. And if you want to add this one, you can pick this one up for $40 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And finally, rounding out the NovWrap for this week, I saw this week from a developer Milestone with their release for their latest DLC for Ride 4 with their USA Tribute Pack, which gives you 5 exclusive bikes: the Harley Davidson VR 1000R, the Walt Siegel the Boulder Walt Siegel Superbike, Harley Davidson XR 1200X, and the Harley Davidson 1200X from, the 1200X Road Edition and the 1200X Racing Modified Edition. Also includes 10 additional events for use in all game modes as well. And you can pick this one up for $5 or your original equivalent on your platform of choice. And with that, folks, that now rounds out the NovWrap for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovWrap24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.